Hello, my beautiful boring people. In this video, I'll be fangirling over Nevernight. Well, first of all, this is going onto my favorites of all time shelf as soon as I buy a copy because, as some of you probably already know, I tend to check out the vast majority of my books from the library. And if I really, really like them, like if I give them 4 to 5 stars, and I know that I will want to reread them at some point, then I look into buying them at some point when I can find them on sale and whatnot. And this collection is definitely going on a shelf somewhere, whether that be digital or in audio version or in the actual physical copy, because holy schnitzel, this is great. In this novel, we follow Mia Corvair, a girl who is out for revenge because people killed her family in front of her and she was like, heck no, you gonna die now. So she goes off to try to find an assassin school, and then she does stuff at the assassin school. And I'm not gonna go much into that because those are plot points, son. But oh my gosh, this book has everything. It has action, it has adventure, it has tons and tons and tons of world dev. Like, this is Tolkien and Robert Jordan level of world dev. Maybe not quite Robert Jordan level of world dev, but it's really cool. And it also has conspiracy, and it deals with grief, and there's also an element of hope to it, and there aren't enough descriptors. There are plot twists on plot twists on plot twists that are not very predictable. Some of the plot twists caught me completely off guard, which I love. I don't like knowing where I'm going in a story always. Sometimes I want to be surprised, and this book has surprises. We have some adorable characters that aren't supposed to be adorable because they're supposed to be creepy, because there's a knot cat and a knot dog. But I love the knot cat. It's just a figment of shadow, and it's hilarious. We have really, I don't want to say messy, what's the word I'm looking for here? We have a lot of really dark themes going on in this book. It's definitely a fantasy series and not a young adult. Or well, I guess if you're a young adult, you can totally read this, but it's got some spicy parts to it, so depending on how prudish you want to be, you may not want to have your kids read it, but it's got a little bit of everything, and it's just so good. It's so good. The writing style is very different. At first, as I was reading the story, it's written in italics and regular, and we repeat the same words back and forth quite a bit. So the first few chapters, I wasn't sure if I was actually going to finish the book if it was written in that style. It's not. That's just part of the introduction portion of the book, and it works. It's very weird and very confusing to get through. And to be honest, I probably need to go through and reread the first 3 chapters now that I've read the rest of the book to have it make complete sense, because the writing style of J. Kristoff for the opening of this book is so different. Also, you can read this book for just the story and not do nearly as much of the world dev. But in the footnotes, that's where a lot of the world dev happens. It's also where a lot of the humor happens, because while this is a very dark story, there is a lot of humor thrown in with it too. And everything matters in the... Yes, would you like to talk about the book too? Thank you. I love your squeaks. And everything matters in how this is written. From italics to bold to font size to font style. Everything has significance with how this is written. And it's really neat to see that attention to detail used as part of the story. If you're looking for some dark fantasy to get into that has it all, and I mean it has pretty much everything that I look for in a book and then some, oh my gosh, go read this book. Go buy it now. Tell me what you think of it, because I absolutely loved it. And according to the back, Patrick Rothfuss, who is another author who I'm actually about to go read because I walked into my library and I was like, hey, I like Robert Jordan books. I like Jay Kristoff. I want to be sent home with a random book that I know absolutely nothing about. Can you hook me up, librarian? They were like, yeah, here's a Patrick Rothfuss book. So I'm going to be reading that soon. Anyways, he said, what's that? You say you've got a Japanese steampunk novel with mythic creatures, civil unrest, a strong female protagonist? I'm afraid I missed everything you said after Japanese steampunk. That's all I really needed to hear. Which, I didn't know Japanese steampunk was a theme that you could take into books and not just in fashion. So, apparently, I need to go read a bunch more steampunk novels because I friggin' love this. I hope you've enjoyed my babbling on why I love this book so much. Hopefully, you'll be interested in it. If you do read it, let me know in the comments below, or if you know other books like this, also let me know. And I'll see you in the next one.